The Galactic Council convened in their grand chamber, a vast room filled with representatives from many alien species. Colorful lights and strange sounds filled the air, creating a vibrant atmosphere. But today, the mood was heavy with worry. The council had gathered to discuss one topic: humans. "Humans are a threat!" shouted a towering Zargon, his many eyes bulging with anger. "They are primitive creatures who think they can challenge us." The other council members murmured in agreement, their voices a mix of fear and disdain. A Tylorian, with scales that shimmered like jewels, added, "They have no advanced technology. We could crush them easily." At the center of the room stood the alien ambassador, a wise figure with a calm presence. His long, flowing robes and gentle demeanor set him apart. He raised his hand to speak, but the council was too busy bickering to notice. "Listen, please," he urged, his voice steady. "I have seen what humans are capable of. They may seem weak, but they are clever and resourceful. We must be careful." But his words fell on deaf ears. The council was determined to go to war. They believed that with their advanced technology and powerful fleets, they could easily defeat Earth and its inhabitants. The idea of a quick victory excited them. An ambitious leader from the planet Grok stood up. "We should attack at dawn! We can take them by surprise! There's no way they can stand against us." The other members cheered, caught up in the excitement of the plan. The alien ambassador felt a pang of worry in his heart. He knew that underestimating humans would lead to disaster. He took a deep breath and tried again. "I urge you to reconsider. In my travels, I have learned that humans are not to be trifled with. They have a fierce spirit, and they fight for their home." His warning was met with laughter. "What do you know of humans? You have never lived among them," a council member scoffed. The ambassador lowered his gaze, feeling a mix of frustration and sadness. He had witnessed humans rallying in times of crisis, using their creativity and determination to overcome impossible odds. He knew they would not go down easily. Despite the ambassador's pleas, the council was set on their path. They voted overwhelmingly for war. A sense of excitement filled the chamber, and plans for the attack were quickly made. The ambassador realized he had to act fast to warn the humans. As the meeting ended, the ambassador rushed to his ship. He programmed the coordinates for Earth, his heart pounding with urgency. He knew that time was running out. The Council's decision to attack could lead to a war that would change the galaxy forever. The journey to Earth felt long and heavy with dread. The ambassador thought of the humans, their cultures, their inventions, and their unwavering spirit. He remembered how they had come together during times of hardship, proving time and again that they could surprise even their fiercest enemies. When he finally landed on Earth, he was met with suspicious stares from humans who surrounded his ship. They had seen many strange things in the sky, and they were ready to defend their world. The ambassador stepped out, holding his hands up to show he meant no harm. "I come in peace," he declared, his voice echoing across the field. "I am an ambassador from the Galactic Council. We must talk urgently about a serious threat." A human stepped forward, looking him over with curiosity and caution. "What threat? Why should we trust you?" The ambassador felt the weight of their skepticism. He had to convince them quickly. "The council is planning to attack. They think you are weak, but you are stronger than they realize. We need to work together to stop this madness." The humans exchanged glances, and the ambassador could see the wheels turning in their minds. He hoped that just maybe he could convince them to listen. The fate of both their worlds rested on his ability to bridge the gap between their peoples before it was too late. As he stood before them, the tension between the worlds hung heavily in the air, and the ambassador knew that every word would count in the days to come. The alien ambassador stood in front of a group of human leaders in a dimly lit conference room. He could feel the weight of their gazes, filled with suspicion and uncertainty. He had traveled far from the Galactic Council, hoping to convince the humans of the danger ahead. Now he faced the challenge of bridging two very different worlds. "Why should we trust you?" a stern-looking woman asked, crossing her arms. She had sharp features and a determined expression. "You come from a place that wants to destroy us." The ambassador took a deep breath, reminding himself that he had to stay calm. "I understand your fear, but I am here to warn you. The council believes you are an easy target, but I know the truth. You are strong and clever." "Strong and clever?" Another human scoffed, a young man with a skeptical look. "We've seen the ships in your fleet. How can we possibly stand against that?" The ambassador knew he had to show them that humans had faced overwhelming odds before. You have a history of fighting against the impossible. Your planet's history is filled with stories of bravery and resilience. You have stood against powerful foes and found ways to win. The leaders exchanged glances, their expressions softening just a bit. The ambassador seized the moment to share more about his experiences with humans. I have traveled across the galaxy. I've seen species that seemed unbeatable, yet they fell because they underestimated their opponents. The Council thinks you are nothing, but I see your potential. The room was silent for a moment. The ambassador felt hope rising. He continued, if you work together, you can outsmart the Council. You must prepare for the attack. Show them you are not to be taken lightly. One of the older leaders finally spoke, his voice low and thoughtful. What do you suggest we do? The ambassador smiled, sensing a chance for cooperation. You must strengthen your defenses and use your creativity. Build traps, develop strategies, and use the land to your advantage. Humans have always excelled at using what they have to fight back. The stern woman nodded slowly, her expression shifting from suspicion to consideration. You might be right, but we need more than just words. We need a plan. Let me help you, the ambassador offered. I can share what I know about the Council's fleet and their weaknesses. Together, we can prepare for their attack. As the discussions continued, the ambassador could see the humans starting to trust him. They shared their own ideas and strategies, and the atmosphere in the room became more collaborative. They were no longer just scared, they were beginning to believe they could fight back. Meanwhile, outside the conference room, tension filled the air. News of the Council's plans had spread quickly. Citizens were worried and rumors of war began to circulate. The ambassador knew that time was running out. He had to act quickly to unite the humans against the impending threat. After several hours of planning, the human leaders decided to take immediate action. They arranged for a public announcement to rally the citizens. The ambassador watched with admiration as the leaders stepped forward, speaking with passion and determination. We stand on the brink of war, the stern woman declared to the crowd. But we will not back down. We will fight for our homes and our families. We will show the Galactic Council that we are not weak. Cheers erupted from the crowd, and the ambassador felt a surge of hope. The humans were ready to fight, and they were beginning to see their own strength. But he also felt a heavy weight on his shoulders. He knew that war was not just about strength, it was about strategy and unity. As the sun set on the horizon, painting the sky in shades of orange and purple, the ambassador reflected on the day's events. He had seen a spark of determination in the humans, and he felt a renewed sense of purpose. He had come to warn them, but now he was part of something bigger, a fight for survival. The ambassador knew that their journey was just beginning. The Council would not take kindly to the humans' newfound resolve, and the battle ahead would be fierce. But for the first time, he believed that they could stand together against the threat. They had a chance, and he was determined to help them seize it. The sun rose over Earth, casting a golden glow on the planet. But in the skies above, darkness was coming. The Galactic Council's fleet, a massive armada of ships, approached Earth with silent speed. On the ground, the alien ambassador and the human leaders stood ready, their hearts racing with anticipation and fear. In the command center, the atmosphere was tense. Monitors displayed the fleet's approach, and the room buzzed with activity. The ambassador watched as humans worked together, their determination shining through. He could see the preparations they had made, barriers erected, traps set, and weapons ready. They had listened to his advice and were ready to defend their home. Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the command center. "They're here!" shouted a technician, pointing at the screens. The fleet appeared like a dark cloud, blocking out the sun. The ambassador's heart sank as he realized that the Council was serious about their attack. "Stay calm!" shouted the stern woman, now a leader in the fight. "We've trained for this! We know what to do." The humans gathered around her, ready to face the oncoming threat. As the first wave of alien ships descended, beams of light shot down from above, striking at the ground. The humans scrambled to their positions, their hearts pounding. The ambassador could feel the tension in the air as he joined them, ready to assist in any way he could. "Activate the defenses!" the woman commanded. "Hold your positions." The humans fired their weapons, and bright flashes filled the sky as they defended their world. The ambassador watched in awe as the humans fought back with fierce determination. The alien ships were powerful, but the humans used their knowledge of the terrain to their advantage. They hid behind hills and buildings, firing at the invaders from unexpected angles. The ambassador saw how they worked together, using clever strategies to outsmart the larger fleet. As the battle raged on, the ambassador noticed a group of human fighters maneuvering their ships through the chaos. They zipped around the larger alien ships, avoiding their attacks with impressive skill. They're using agility against strength, he thought, proud of the humans' quick thinking. But soon the tide began to turn. The alien ships regrouped and launched a coordinated attack. Bright beams of energy shot down, destroying barriers and causing explosions. The ground shook beneath their feet and smoke filled the air. The humans began to falter under the relentless assault. "Reinforcements!" a voice shouted from the command center. More human ships raced into the fray, joining the fight. The ambassador could see that the humans were not giving up. They were rallying, determined to protect their planet. Despite their bravery, the alien fleet was overwhelming. One by one, human ships fell from the sky and the sounds of explosions echoed all around. The ambassador felt a knot of fear in his stomach. He knew that if the council succeeded, it would mean disaster for Earth. "We need to focus on their command ship," the ambassador shouted, hoping to inspire the humans. "If we can take it down, we can disrupt their entire fleet." The stern woman nodded, her face set with determination. "Let's move! We can't let them take our home!" With renewed vigor, the humans directed their fire toward the command ship, a massive vessel hovering above the battlefield. It loomed like a shadow over the chaos below. The ambassador joined the humans in their assault, guiding them to aim for weak points in the ship's defenses. As they unleashed their firepower, the command ship began to shake. The aliens inside scrambled to respond, but it was too late. The humans pressed on, their determination growing stronger with each moment. "We can do this!" the ambassador shouted, feeling a surge of hope. But just as victory seemed within reach, an unexpected wave of alien reinforcements arrived. More ships filled the sky, and the humans found themselves outnumbered once again. The battle grew more desperate, and the ambassador felt a chill of fear. Would they be able to hold on? As the fight continued, the ambassador looked around at the humans, their faces filled with grit and courage. They fought for their world, for each other, and for a future free from the threat of the council. In that moment, he knew they would not back down easily. The fight was far from over, and their determination would be tested in the battles to come. With one final push, the ambassador rallied the humans, ready to face the odds together. Their unity and spirit shone brighter than any weapon, and as long as they stood together, there was still hope for victory. The battle raged on, with explosions lighting up the sky and smoke billowing over the battlefield. The alien ambassador felt the weight of the moment pressing down on him. He knew that every second counted, and he had to act quickly to save Earth and its people. As the command ship loomed overhead, the ambassador gathered his courage. He had a plan, a risky one, but it could turn the tide of the battle. He knew that the command ship contained vital information about the Council's strategy and weaknesses. If he could get inside, he might be able to disrupt their plans and save the humans. "Listen to me," he shouted to the human leaders who were trying to rally their forces amidst the chaos. "We need to take down that command ship. If we can disable it, the rest of the fleet will lose coordination." The stern woman nodded, her eyes filled with determination. "How do we do that?" "We're running out of time. We need a small team to get close to the command ship," the ambassador explained, pointing toward the chaos in the sky. "I can help you sneak in. If I can access their control systems, I can create confusion among their ranks." A sense of urgency filled the room as the humans considered his words. "We have to act now," the young man said. "We can't let this opportunity slip away." The ambassador quickly gathered a small group of brave fighters, including the stern woman and the young man. They prepared their ship, knowing that this mission would be dangerous. "Stay close to me and follow my lead," the ambassador instructed. "We can do this together." With a roar, they launched into the sky, dodging beams of light and alien ships. The ambassador led the way, weaving through the chaos as they approached the command ship. It loomed larger and larger, and the tension grew. "Prepare for a boarding maneuver," the ambassador shouted, his heart racing. "We'll go in through the lower access hatch." As they got closer, they could see the alien ships firing at them, but the humans worked together seamlessly, dodging and returning fire. They were a well-oiled machine, and the ambassador felt a sense of pride at their determination. The small ship landed with a thud on the command ship's lower deck. The group hurried out, weapons ready. The ambassador led the way, moving quickly down the dimly lit corridors. They passed strange alien controls and blinking lights, the heart of the command ship pulsing with energy. Suddenly, they encountered a group of alien guards. Without hesitation, the ambassador shouted, "Now!" The humans sprang into action, taking down the guards with a mix of strategy and skill. The ambassador marveled at how well they fought together. As they pressed on, they finally reached the control room, a large chamber filled with screens and blinking lights. The atmosphere was thick with tension, and the ambassador's heart raced. This was the moment. "Cover me!" he shouted as he rushed to the main console. He began typing furiously, trying to access the ship's systems. The humans held off any incoming guards, their resolve unwavering. "Come on, come on!" he urged as the console beeped and flashed. He could feel the pressure building. Suddenly a warning sounded. "Intruders detected! Stay strong!" the stern woman yelled, firing at the incoming guards. The ambassador's hands flew over the controls, and finally he found what he was looking for. He quickly input a series of commands. "Disabling communication," he announced. The screens flickered, and the ambassador could see the chaos erupting outside. The alien fleet was losing coordination, firing on each other as confusion spread among their ranks. "Now's our chance," the young man shouted. "We have to get out of here!" The ambassador nodded, adrenaline pumping through his veins. He quickly uploaded a virus to the ship's systems, hoping to create more chaos. "Let's go!" he urged as they ran back down the corridors, trying to avoid the guards that were beginning to swarm. As they reached the landing bay, they heard the sounds of battle growing more chaotic outside. The ambassador's heart raced with hope. They were making a difference. The humans and their allies were fighting back harder than ever, taking advantage of the confusion he had created. Once aboard their ship, they launched into the sky, narrowly escaping the chaos. As they ascended, the ambassador looked down at the battlefield below. The alien fleet was in disarray, and the humans were rallying, pushing back against their enemies. "Together, we did this!" he exclaimed, a wave of triumph washing over him. The humans cheered, their spirits lifted by the ambassador's revelation and their own bravery. They had turned the tide, and for the first time, the battle felt winnable. With newfound determination, they soared through the skies, ready to fight for their planet. The ambassador realized that their bond had grown stronger in the face of adversity. Together, they were not just fighting for survival, they were fighting for a future where humans and aliens could stand side by side against the darkness. The air was thick with tension as the battle raged on. The alien ambassador and the human crew of their small ship soared above the chaos, watching the confusion below. The Galactic Council's fleet was disorganized, and the humans were taking advantage of the opportunity to push back. But the ambassador knew the fight was far from over. "Let's regroup with our forces," the stern woman shouted, her eyes scanning the battlefield. "We need to organize a final strike." The ambassador nodded, feeling a sense of urgency. "We can't let them recover. If we strike hard now, we can end this fight before they regroup." As they flew back toward their allies, the ambassador reflected on the events that had brought them to this moment. Just days ago, he had been a stranger in a foreign land, trying to convince the humans of the dangers they faced. Now he stood beside them as a trusted ally, united in a common goal. When they landed near the command center, they found a group of humans and allies gathered, all eager to hear the news. "What happened?" one of the leaders asked, eyes wide with hope. "We disabled their command ship," the ambassador announced. "But we must keep up the pressure. We have a chance to drive them away for good." Cheers erupted among the crowd. "Let's make our stand," the young man shouted, rallying the forces. "We will show the council that we will not be defeated." As they organized themselves, the ambassador felt a surge of pride. Humans were resourceful and resilient, ready to fight for their home. He shared the knowledge he had gained about the council's strategies, helping the humans understand how to exploit their enemies' weaknesses. "Remember," he said, looking around at the determined faces, "the council sees you as weak. They think they can crush you easily, but we have shown them that you are strong and clever. We can turn this battle into a victory." With renewed energy, the group formulated their plan. They would launch a coordinated assault, targeting the remaining alien ships while keeping the pressure on the ground forces. The ambassador would join a small team to infiltrate the remaining ships and sabotage them from within. "Are you sure you want to go back in there?" the stern woman asked, concern etched on her face. I have to, the ambassador replied firmly. If I can create even more confusion, it could be the key to our success. We can find common ground in this fight. As night fell, the skies lit up with explosions and beams of light. The ambassador and the small team moved quickly through the shadows, avoiding alien patrols. He could feel the adrenaline pumping through his veins as they approached their first target, a smaller alien ship, isolated from the main fleet. Once inside, the team moved quietly through the corridors, sticking to the shadows. The ambassador directed them, using his knowledge of the ship's layout. They reached the control room, where they began disabling the ship's systems, just as they had done before. Suddenly, alarms blared, echoing through the ship. "They found us!" a team member shouted. "We need to hurry! Keep working!" the ambassador urged. "We can't let them regain control." He took a deep breath, focusing on the task at hand. He input commands, hoping to shut down the ship's defenses. Just then, alien guards burst into the room, weapons raised. The ambassador felt a surge of fear, but quickly pushed it aside. "We can't give up now," he shouted to his team. They fought back with determination, working together to hold off the guards while the ambassador completed his mission. With one final command, he disabled the ship's systems. The lights flickered, and the ship went dark. "We did it!" he exclaimed, feeling a rush of triumph. "Now let's get out of here!" They hurried back to their ship, barely escaping as more guards flooded the corridors. As they launched into the sky, the ambassador looked back at the disabled ship, now a shell of its former self. "Look!" the young man shouted, pointing at the battlefield below. The humans were pushing the aliens back, taking advantage of the chaos. The Council's fleet was breaking apart, and the humans were beginning to celebrate their hard-fought victory. "Together we have found common ground," the ambassador said, filled with pride. "You are not just fighting for yourselves. You are fighting for all of us." As they returned to join their allies, the ambassador felt a deep connection to the humans. They had fought side by side, overcoming their differences to stand united against a common enemy. The battle may have been won, but he knew their relationship would only grow stronger. "We will build a future together," he promised, looking at the faces around him. "One where humans and aliens can stand as allies, not foes." The humans cheered, their spirits soaring. They had faced the darkness together and emerged victorious. As they celebrated their hard-won triumph, the ambassador knew this was just the beginning of a new alliance, a friendship that would change the course of their histories forever.